Welcome guys, back to another video. Behind me you can see a silver or grey Mazda, and that is from Scotland, all the way from Scotland, the furthest away so far. It takes around, I believe, 9 hours to drive there or come down here one way without traffic. But unfortunately this car didn't come on his own legs. It was recovered to us because it didn't start. No, first it had oil pressure problems and the owner didn't want to risk it, obviously. However, the funny thing is he drove the car with low oil pressure, and I believe, or if I remember correctly, he drove it home from the garage who diagnosed it, and since then he left it there on the driveway. And when the recovery guy went there to pick it up, it didn't start. He thought it may be the battery, so we tried it here, we've checked, and unfortunately the engine is seized. And basically, if you remember in my latest video, I told you, I'll tell you why you shouldn't drive with low oil pressure problem, and here is the reason. I'll talk about it obviously later, and just I want to show you as well to you guys, like how you know if the engine is seized, which is pretty obvious to be honest, but we will demonstrate it. So I will ask Dan and his strength to help me to turn the crankshaft, and we will see if he's strong enough, if his jiu-jitsu lessons help him recover his strength or not. So let me switch or turn around the camera and show you Dan trying or struggling turning that wheel. So let's see the jiu-jitsu master in action. Go ahead Dan, feel free to turn around, sorry, not turn around, turn the wheel. So the gearbox is in 4th gear and it should turn, but as you can see it doesn't. We tried also with the crankshaft, it doesn't or didn't turn because the engine is seized very likely by the con rods, so oil pressure wasn't there, wasn't enough lubrication, and the crank started to touch the bearings and eventually it seized. But no need to worry, here is the solution. We are going to do a surgery, so basically heart transplant. We're going to take the engine from this car and going to put into that one. Obviously it won't be just a straight swap. We're going to rebuild this engine, check if any, like definitely it has faults, so we're going to fix those faults which you can see in this video, so stay tuned. But in the meanwhile, without further ado, let me start removing the engine from this car. So look at this guys, what was waiting me in the morning. Dan was in earlier than me today and he already removed the engine. I started it, I have to say, he finished it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put back the subframe and push this one out, and probably that's it. We're going to remove the wiper motor from it because the owner said that in his one is not working, so we're going to swap it from that, and basically the rebuild can start on this engine. I'll switch the camera in a bit and show you what I noticed when I was disassembling or preparing it for removal. So let me do that right now. Not sure how much you'll be able to see, but let me bring a flashlight. So here it is. The wastegate flap is broken off in here as well, and I'm not sure how much you can see, but the turbine wheel is damaged, so the turbo needs refurbishment on this one. Anyways, we are going to swap the turbo from that car onto this one, and in the meanwhile we're going to remove it, give it a brand new, not brand new, but skimmed and pressure tested cylinder head gasket, get rid of the carbon buildup inside the intake manifold and intake ports. So basically we're going to completely rebuild the engine alongside the timing chain, bearings, oil, strainer, vacuum pump, whatever what can go bad, we're going to fix it, and the owner can use the engine or enjoy the car as long as he can. So we have started to strip the engine, or it's quite stripped already. Here is how it looks like from the carbon buildup side. It was never removed and it doesn't look that bad. It's a bit oily, no wonder, as the turbo was like blowing oil. Oil changes weren't too frequent, but not that bad. We've seen worse. Injector washers weren't blowing out, and as you can see, the camshaft is worn. We removed the vacuum pump, that is good by the values. The fuel pump, the high pressure fuel pump, then had removed the turbo, which is fogged. We're going to refurbish it, and we decided also that we're going to give the owner, so we're not going to swap his turbo, we're going to give him a refurbished turbo. The DPF is removed. The next thing is the timing cover, and after that is done, we're going to get the cylinder head removed, and it is going to get schemed and pressure tested cylinder head alongside with all the components. So basically new exhaust camshaft, the rocker arms, the tappets. If more are softer than 4, we're going to obviously replace more. Then is now doing the timing cover. Once it will be removed, I'll show you that. When I was when I was testing the car testing the engine in the car, on the live data, the oil pressure at operating temperature or above, a little bit around 85 degrees of Celsius, it had low oil pressure, like 100 kPa. So we are going to investigate that and check it and rectify and fix the issue. And once that is done, we're going to fit it into the car. So we are one eternity later. As you can see, Dan is very sad sitting there. Engine is completely disassembled. So let me switch the camera and show you what we found. If you see this, it doesn't mean or never means anything good. So the reason why we removed everything, because then where is the strainer? So the strainer was completely clean, yet the car had oil pressure problems. So when I was testing the car, let's have a look at the strainer first. That is very clean, like brand new. So basically, when I was testing the car with diagnostics, at up till 80 degrees of engine oil temp, it didn't have any oil pressure problems, but above 80 degrees, the pressure dropped around 100 kPa at idle. So we decided that because we didn't see the strainer blocked, we're going to remove the cradle, how you say, I think it's called cradle, so the bottom part of the engine. We're going to split it and remove the crankshaft. Also, then it's showing the oil filter, that paper thing. We cut it open, and you can see the metal shavings, particles. But now let me get back to the crankshaft. So basically, this is the crankshaft. This is the second piston, and have a look at it. It is quite scored. Let me be honest, we don't have experience with this. We're going to take it to the machine shop, ask their opinion. As far as we are aware or we know, it can be fixed if it is not too fogged. So they just polish it, measure it, obviously, if it still fits or meets the measurements, and then we just put a bearing. We're not going to put this engine into the customer's car because we want to get it done ASAP, obviously. So instead we have another block, so we're going to rebuild it for him. But anyways, we're going to send this one to the machine shop, and we're going to rebuild it, and we're going to see if it is still usable. Also have a look at the bearings. And the funny thing is, the car was driving, didn't have knock. Obviously the fault would come if I would stress the car enough, but at that point, or at the time when I was testing it, it didn't come on. And also I spoke with the previous owner. He had the car for 2 years. He didn't do anything to it. He just done services basically. But when we started working on it, we could see that the sump was already removed, the Valka was already removed, and yet, so basically We don't know what they've done or when they've done it, but it lasted more than 2 years. Yeah, but now we're going to give it a new life to this engine, hopefully. And yeah, you'll see in the next clips how it turned out. And as a bonus, I'm editing this video right now, and there is one more video, if you remember guys, when we had a client who had done the carbon cleaning by someone else before us and the engine never started. There is going to be part 2 of that. Also, we have another client with timing chain issues, which is a very interesting video as well. Or like there will be a video about it and it will be very interesting. And also from our side, there will be another video where we fucked up big time, not once, not twice, I would believe 3 times. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like if you liked it. Use the links in the description to buy stuff from Amazon. We earn commission from that. So yeah, don't worry, those videos are coming. Unfortunately, we are extremely busy at the moment. We are so overwhelmed with work, and we are 3 of us now, me, Dan, and my girlfriend, part-time in the office, but still we are not enough. But yeah, that's life. That's not your problem, that's our problem. So anyways, thank you very much guys for watching, and see you soon in the very next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.